This is the third inspection of the RGP carried out by Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary and Fire and Rescue Service, which independently assesses the effectiveness and efficiency of police forces and fire and rescue services in the public interest. The first report was completed in 2016, with the second in 2020, noting that slow progress had been made in addressing its recommendations and areas for improvement. This latest HMIC report acknowledges the hard work done by the RGP in addressing all 10 of its recommendations, 6 of them fully and 4 of them partially. There were also 15 areas for improvement, 14 of which have been fully addressed, with just 1 partially addressed. However, the report highlights some problem areas which still remain. These include the lack of supervision of a very inexperienced pool of uniformed officers due to time constraints. This, the report says, is of concern, as 39% of response constables are probationers. Another 6% have just 2 to 3 years' experience. HMIC also found the quality of investigations by uniformed officers to be poor, with some agencies commenting that the standard is worse than 3 years ago. It found inadequate casework and evidence in 44% of investigations completed between January and March this year. The report does, however, highlight the generally very good investigations carried out by specialist investigation units such as the Domestic Abuse Team. On victims of crime, the report notes the delay in implementing legislation, with the Ministry for Justice yet to ratify the draft code of practice. Nevertheless, HMIC says the RGP should still introduce policy on this matter immediately. Another area yet to be enshrined in law are protection notices and orders for victims of domestic abuse. The report notes the shortage of available government housing, which may render these impractical, as they would force people out of their homes, leaving them without anywhere else to go. As regards professional standards, the report says the RGP has implemented its 2020 recommendation on bullying, but it also notes the result of this year's Gibraltar Police Federation Survey, where the results, it says, are in sharp contrast to its own findings. 77% of officers completed the survey, with almost 1/5, that's 32 officers, saying they had been bullied at work in the past year, and 1/3 claimed they had seen a colleague being bullied. HMIC says these findings are clearly worrying. The report says the RGP still lacks the resources to do much counter-corruption work, which is hampered by an inadequate Cyclops IT system. This, it says, continues to be slow and unreliable. This report contains just one new recommendation, and that is for the government and the RGP to replace its ICT platform with one that's more suitable by the 31st of December 2023. Overall, the report says it's pleased that the force's senior leadership has prioritised and addressed its recommendations and areas for improvement, having also set up a new governance procedure. This, it says, has allowed the RGP to oversee progress and implement changes more effectively.